Okay, thank you very much. And thank you everyone for giving me the opportunity to talk about this important organization. And my name is Ann Thorward. I'm currently president of the Newcomers Access Center Board of Directors. We switch officers every once in a while, and this happened last January. So that's my role right now. I want to share with you a few things. I'd like to know if any other than Debbie, because I know she knows and has done a lot of volunteer work, and Judy, if people have not heard much about it, so I don't know how much background I should give. So that would be my question. And I have a lot of material to share with you on this presentation, but I just want to let you know that Newcomers Access Center was a resettlement group that started in the fall of 2016. What happened is a young neighbor of mine told me about a young Syrian student who was having trouble at the high school. She had just started 9th grade and had just gotten off a plane from Syria a few days earlier and got enrolled in school. And so she said, you want to go over there and tutor a couple days a week? And I'm not an ESL teacher, and I was not then, and I am not now, but I just was being supportive in the ESL class. And through that child, I met her family, I met other families, I met people at the local mosque here in Claremont, and met politicians and other volunteers, and the group just kind of grew. And we had a meeting at the local Presbyterian church one night, and we had a meeting at the Friends Church, facility one time, and we needed a place to meet. So I offered my home, and community people showed up. We met every other week from December till April when I ran out of chairs. We had to find new space. So we moved to San Antonio Gardens and had our meetings there for a while. And then we secured office space at the Pomona Presbyterian Church. And Pastor Adam, of course, was very instrumental in helping us get going. So I think one of the many interesting things was when we were trying to find a name. We didn't want to specify immigrants or refugees specifically, because we serve currently about 62 families. We have almost 200 adults and nearly 80 children who are in our service. And Judy, that doesn't include your crew. So who we are very happy to pleased to help. And our goal is to help the families become independent and self-sufficient. And during this time, last fall, or summer, I had called Reverend Tom Johnson at the School of Theology, because he and I have served on a local interfaith group for quite some time, he more than I. And we decided, I asked him if they had any space for us. We needed, actually, I asked for apartments, and he said, well, let me think about that. The next day, I got a phone call from the facilities manager at Claremont School of Theology, and they said, oh yeah, we can give you some apartments and we'll give you an office. And oh, it's just been a thrill to be there. We just hope we get to stay forever. And if you haven't been there, please come over and see us. The office space is a small building that used to be 2 apartments. And the college has given us 4 apartments for housing. So we have 4 right now, 4 families in 1-bedroom apartments. Each family, actually, except for one elderly couple, are a family of 5. So it's temporary housing. It's not that they can sign a lease forever and ever. And at the compilation of the family, we have right now 3 families from Afghanistan and 1 family from the Ukraine. And it keeps changing, the compilation. We have clients from the Dominican Republic, Mexico, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Jordan, and it just keeps changing. So our goal is to offer them opportunities to become independent. Let me tell you a story about a family that just came Tuesday. They flew in from Qatar. Qatar is where the U.S. Embassy for Afghanistan is currently housed, and it's supposed to be temporary, but you know, you all might know about temporary protective status that Haitians and others have given, and temporary sometimes runs into a generation. So this family somehow got out of Afghanistan a few months ago, got to Qatar, got their visas. It's a father who worked for the US government in the Afghanistan, his wife and his two children. He has a 3-year-old and a 16-month-old. And so other clients of ours borrowed money from friends and came up with a security deposit and a first month's rent for this family. So one of the current needs is July 1st is coming around pretty quick, and they're going to need rent money. So I'm just mentioning that because there's other things. We have a woman from Ukraine who lives also at the School of Theology. The families who live at the School of Theology apartments do pay rent, far below market, but they do pay rent. So they get to establish some kind of security and credit rating. We have a Ukrainian mother who works in Santa Clarita. I'm not sure exactly how you get there, but I know it's a long drive. And she's working she has 3 children of her own who are just adorable. And they are in our ESL program. And she needs a job locally. She's doing childcare and cooking for a family. And it would be nice if we could find somebody, maybe through your networks, who has a job opportunity for a nanny or whatever. I might mention that the families have many different legal statuses in the United States. Some of them have opportunity to get work permits, which is great because we have a family of 3 who are working. If you go to Eddie's restaurant, they're washing the dishes every night from 4 to 11 o'clock at night. So if you go there, you'll have clean plates. And we have some families, Ukrainians in particular, who are not eligible for a work permit. Hence, nanny jobs, gardening jobs, physical labor jobs, helping people are what's the only thing that's really available to them. And some generous people have given cars to the families. We accept used cars only as a donation. You've probably heard it advertised in other places. We work directly with a charity organization where if someone wants to donate a car, this company takes care of it. They take it away, they sell it at auction, give us a part of the proceeds. So that's one way. We are currently in the market for a car that seats 7 for a family of the elderly parents and the daughter with 5 to be able to transport them. So if that happens, we have the first donor give the car directly to the family. Newcomers Access Center is not in the car business. We have the family that just came last week have an empty apartment, and I went to Pilgrim Place to see what they have down there, get some furniture. Did buy a bed for the 3-year-old, new bed. So the next important need is to get the things moved from here to there, and so that's something we need. But I just want to share with you a few things about the Newcomers Access Center that you might want to see. Let me see if this is our website. If you haven't seen it, can you see it? I don't think it's here. Okay, this is our website, and what's new, we have whatever's going on. This changes from time to time. World Refugee Day was last week, and we just want to thank our partners, of which UCC is one of them. We've received gifts from different ones of our partners. Cleanup Day, Tutoring English. I want to focus on the Tutoring English because we have classes every day, and Judy sends some of her people over. It's just wonderful. And this is our mission, our vision, and our mission statement is to help refugee and immigrant families connect with appropriate services and resources to aid them in becoming self-sufficient. For example, we have had, last fall, we had 3 citizenship clinics where we work with another organization that provides attorneys who come and have one-on-one interviews with the families about their application for citizenship. And we inform the families what documents they need and what they need to bring, and it's all done online, and it seems to work very, very well. Here's the woman on the right is Barbara Oswald. She was the inspiration, and Maha Jaludi was is still on the board and was our first president. Barbara Oswald showed up at my house with a book, and she said, "Oh, Ann, you got to start one of these." And she had started an access program in Dearborn, Michigan. And she says, "Oh, we got to do this." And I glanced in this book, and the budget was like $25 million. And I'm thinking, "Hey, are you nuts?" She says, "Sure." And so anyway, she was the inspiration. She helped me a lot with the beginning of it. She unexpectedly died too soon. And so I had to go on without her, and I'm sad about that. We have several things. I might show you a few more slides here later on. Here's some families. A lot of the families do not like to be photographed, so we're blessed when we get a few from time to time. And volunteers, tutoring. These in community events, and you'll recognize some of these people. Wonderful, wonderful families, and Congress people who've participated in welcome dinners, just all kinds of opportunities. I love this picture. This is my student that I first taught. And of course, teenagers are the same all over the world. They're just adorable. And their moms.
And we're not getting any new pictures.
You're not?
No, we're still on Tutor English on the webpage.
Oh, you are? I don't know why it isn't showing. I can't.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
I tell you what, this is from the website, and y'all can go to. I said that because I lived in the South for a long time. Go to the website and see them. I don't know. I don't know how all that works. My technician is in the other room. Anyway, let me see what else I have. Can you hear me? Hello?
We can hear you. We just aren't getting a changed picture
Okay, let me try this again.
on screen sharing.
Okay. Okay. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. Anyway, there are several things that I know I was asked by someone in your congregation about what we really need. Well, what we really need today is not necessarily what we really need tomorrow. But as I mentioned, rent is something that's really important. And so know that in our we've done really well in our budget, that more than 50, almost 60% of our money goes directly to the families. And last year we raised over $8,000 for Shoes That Fit, and they have in turn given us the opportunity to provide shoes for our children, for our clients. So that's been pretty great. Here he is. Tom, I was sharing the screen and it didn't let them see the pictures, and I don't know what happened here.
Did you share?
Yes. Anyway, we have a few needs that volunteers may want to participate in right away, and
I don't know what you've done there.
okay, that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. Anyway, I want to. Oh, you're back at tutoring English. Okay. Yeah. Well, let me go on this. Is this what you were looking at? Yeah. Where's the other one? Is it here? Yeah, this is one. This is just some pictures from the website. And here's when we had the Afghans after August of last year. Many Afghan families came, and here's the picture of our office from the outside. And a landscaper came by, a woman I know, and she cleaned up all the weeds and everything, put a little path, and it's really lovely. And can you see these pictures?
No,
I don't know why you can't. It says I'm screen sharing.
it's probably something on our end.
Oh, that's a good idea. Make it your problem. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know why you can't see them, but
I don't
that's
see the
okay.
share. I don't see the share.
It's right here. You're a share screen share.
Share screen. Okay. Click on that.
It says I am.
Oh, you are. She. Which one is? You're trying to do that one?
This one.
Double click.
Does it show yet?
There.
Yes. Yes, you go. Cleaning
That's a
and
yes.
first.
I can't tell if you said yes or no.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So
Is there-
here's. Mickey, can
Cleaning
you
and
see that
furnishing
second
apartments.
picture?
Yes.
This is the School of Theology. This is our campus, and these apartments to the right of are where Judy and Doug Lewis have their mission going. And here's people helping, volunteers helping people move in apartments. And as I said, we have a new family who needs things. And so one of the current needs is in the next few hours or days, we'd like to have transportation, people with trucks to pick up the furniture. Some is close by and some isn't. So here's the apartments. They're rather nice, actually. And here's the tutoring going on. Can you see these?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's exciting is one of our clients is on our board, and we just think that's thrilling. And we are looking for 2 more board members with interesting backgrounds: a tax person, an attorney, a social worker, fundraiser professional. Anybody who's got skills like that, we would love to have you join in, or anybody with a lot of enthusiasm, we'd like you to join our board. And 4 of our 7 board members are also immigrants, so we're real proud of that. And here's the tutoring, and here's just a lot of church and faith groups take on a project. This is a faith group that came out, and they spent 2 Saturdays cleaning the place and getting it all spruced up and fixing things up. They were just great. There's other opportunities. For example, this is the Institute of International Institute of Los Angeles is the agency, resettlement agency, that is most directly useful for us. They are one of 300 agencies, resettlement agencies around the United States, who have a direct line to the Department of State and the Department of Immigration and so forth. And money. So if there's federal money available for families, we want to keep up with these people. Some of our clients now who live on the campus, and others have exhausted this funding source, and so that's why raising money is just so important for them, to keep our clients from being homeless. Here's one of our citizenship, and we raise money for I told you about that. And this is a booth over here on the right, is a college business fraternity at USC, and they picked us out to be their beneficiary of a little fundraiser that they did. And I have storyboards that if we meet again in person, I'll bring these. You can read about the different families and how they made their trip to the United States, and which countries they went to. Some of them had a kind of a straight trip, some of them didn't. And then the other thing that's available to you is we have a bike program. You probably heard about that. Since people can't get cars right away, we try to provide bikes to all adults. And we need somebody to just come by once a week, check the inventory, do that. We also have 2 wonderful teams. One is focused on employment and one is focused on education. And these folks are working very, very hard and helping clients get enrolled in college or high school or whatever needs to be done. And those are areas that you might want to help in. And here's a list of some immigrants that we just picked a few to see, because my personal belief, and I think it's true statistically, that immigrants really embellish our culture and our government. And of course, Madeleine Albright. And this guy's pretty famous now due to And, and I don't know if you know of her. Adriana Huffington founded a newspaper and global. She's written many books. And Sergey Brin, think of him every time you Google. So he immigrated from Russia after the revolution of 79. Well, I don't know if it was a revolution or what it was. And these young men, you'd never imagine that we would have an entrepreneur in tech from Bangladesh and one from Taiwan. They got together and started YouTube. So you never know how, and this is an Iranian astronaut. You can, you know, just think about how people, and Dr. Husseini, he is a famous author and a doctor, medical doctor, and Isabel Allende, writer. She lives in San Francisco, and I think she says she starts all of her novels on I think it's January 8th. I think it was an important date in her life, and she writes in Spanish and has everything translated to English. And of course, Joe Cao from Vietnam. So, and we know this wonderful man. He's made a great impact on California, John Muir. So this is our address. We are, if you haven't been there, we are on the path to the Botanic Gardens, and there's a little driveway on the left, and there's a sign up now. And thanks to Doug Lewis, we got a sign by the front door, and we're moving along. I don't know if you want to know more about the status of refugees, but I will tell you, when they come, they are very shy. Usually they're worried, they're scared, and that's why we're here to help them. We have many professionals. One of the people that is washing dishes at Eddie's restaurant is a pharmacist, and he cannot get work in his field because of his language. He speaks English, but it's not up to the professional level, and then he'd have to take the exam. We have several pharmacists. We have college professors, a filmmaker, chef, architect, business owners, and one of the biggest time-consuming problems is helping them acquire their needed medical care. We are aware that there are certain doctors and dentists who will serve clients who are on Medicaid, it's called in other states, and getting them on that program is a issue in itself. And so we need sometimes people to just physically take them to the doctor or to the dentist. One of our grandmothers from Afghanistan, well, she's a grandmother, but she's a very young grandmother. She was having so much trouble with her teeth. It took us a while. I'm blessed to have translators. So we have translators who are not clients who we use on call for translation. So I was having trouble finally understanding her. And so we got her to the dentist. Turns out the woman needs 5 root canals. So she's in the process of doing that now. And my understanding is that dental care in Afghanistan is different. That's all I can say about that. Not what we experience. Anyway, we have about 120 volunteers, and a lot of them are tutoring. And if people want to tutor, we have a great tutoring and volunteer coordinator, Janet Lynn, who works with us. She's supposed to be part-time, but she seems to extend her. She comes in on her day off, and she's just wonderful. If you want to sign up, you can sign up to volunteer on the website. And she's just really, really great. I was going to show you how to do that if I can. Right here, it says get involved. Can you see this screen?
No.
No, that one won't show. I don't know what the problem is, that one. Anyway, you go to the website and you can sign up to get involved in whatever capacity you want to do. And as I say, some congregations, like your congregation, has in the past generously given us not only volunteer support, but also money, which is always grateful. We're always grateful for that, because I'm worried about this family that's got to pay rent next month, and the dad he's been here 6 days, so he hasn't really found a job yet. His work permit hasn't come through, He did come on SIV, which is Special Immigration Visa for those who worked with the US government, and they're kind of fast-tracked in getting their paperwork done. But the ones who have to wait a long time. And it's interesting too, because when they come into the country, the name that's put on the legal US government documents is often not correct. We've had people's names change slightly, and even birthdays. We have a couple people who were born a year earlier before they were born on their US documents. And that kind of makes things difficult. So
Yep.
The one man, he was born exactly a year before he was born on the US documents. I thought that was kind of intriguing. Anyway, you probably have other questions. We are a certified 501c3. And if you go on the website, you can see where it says news in the news. We've been in the press, and I was on a TV show, Kelly Clarkson show invited me in last February. That was kind of fun. And I'm trying to think what else. Go ahead.
Tell them about the gala.
Oh, yes, we are very excited. And people who want to help with that, we're welcome. Is that Debbie? I can't see who asked.
Yes.
Yeah, we are blessed to, in many ways, we are going to hold a fundraising gala February 26th, which is the last Sunday of February of 2023, next year. And it's going to be held at the Padua Hills Theater. And we're really excited about that. We have always have openings for big and small jobs for people who want to help on that event.
The whole Zoom.
Sorry? Oh, I can tell you tons of stories, success stories, and I like to think of all of our families having success. We haven't had anybody put out on the street because when we can appeal for rent money, that's probably the biggest expense that we have is rent money for families. And most of our clients are Muslim, so they have special dietary requirements, which is fine. And when we get food from the food bank, they know what they want, and that works out. At the center, as I say, the next ticket item is furnishings and gift cards. We received a grant from the Zondervan Foundation, and they're providing things for babies. And as soon as we got that fund, we went out and got a couple strollers and baby diapers and that sort of thing. And let me see what else. Yeah, bikes, toys. But we also need a volunteer to come in and be the quote librarian, sort the books. We've had a lot of children's books and young adult books donated, and we want them sorted, and we want the clients to take them into their homes. We want to give them to them so the parents can read to the younger kids and both learn to read and speak English together. So that's kind of neat. Anyway, I'll stop now and allow for questions or comments. Welcome to Newcomers Access Center. That's all I can say.
Anne?
Yes.
This is Debbie. I was going to talk to you about this at another time, but Women's Fellowship is going to have a woman of the year, but a dinner, and with a local person who is a missionary in all the countries in the Middle East. And I was wondering if the ladies, the immigrant ladies, would want to have a job to cook for that.
They might. Yeah, they've done that. I don't know what the health department requirements would be because they don't have health, what do you call it? Certified kitchens or anything.
Uh-huh. Well, we don't either, but we bring cookies and pies and all kinds of stuff that we've made at home.
Oh yeah, okay. When is this?
It's in October.
Okay.
But we haven't finalized anything. It just occurred to me that I remember that some of the ladies made some money by cooking for events. So I thought
Yes,
that
they
might.
can. They can. Yeah.
Okay.
And they like to. And they like to. And you're right about the ladies, because one of our gentlemen from Afghanistan has a larger family, and he told me that he couldn't even make a cup of tea. He didn't know, and we were at their home for dinner along with a couple other volunteers, and he said, I don't even know how to make a cup of tea. The women do all the cooking. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yes, but your husband cooks.
Yeah, well, I'm in that category. Yeah, I'm in the reverse category. Did anybody else have any questions or interests about what we're trying to accomplish? We really treasure our volunteers. As a matter of fact, October 9th, which is a Sunday, we seem to do a lot of things on Sundays when people are available. We're having a special volunteer luncheon for our volunteers. And this is an interesting experience. We organized for some of the mayors of the local cities around here to come and meet the clients and hear the stories. As a matter of fact, it was started up by one of our board members, Rayhana Mojud, who's on our board. And so we didn't invite the press specifically because the clients wanted to share their stories with the local politicians. And it worked out really nicely. And one gentleman came with a gal who's, you all may know, Janet, who's on the Upland City Council. And he's an immigrant himself from Russia. And he says it's hard for him and his children right now because they're getting, not such good welcoming from the community in general. He's been here about 10 or 12 years. And Alex owns a dance studio in San Dimas. And he invited us to use the studio for an event. And we're just thrilled. I mean, you never know where your connections are going to come. We just think that's great. And I do want to put a shout out to Judy and Doug because they've been so supportive of us and we enjoy working with them. And we never know, do we, Judy, from day to day, how many people are going to show up for anything. You're unmuted.
Okay. Well, it is true. And they're all immigrants, but there's certainly different categories of immigrants. We're doing asylum seekers and many of them from natural disasters, Newcomers Access, many more are political disasters. I guess we call humanitarian disasters, but they work well together, and it's nice when we can put all the kids together because kids don't have this color barrier or language barrier. They're all yabbering anyway. And so it's been really lovely sharing the campus there.
It's really lovely.
Supporting each other. Yeah.
Yes. And we have a few sad stories. One family, a wonderful man, he is a tailor by trade, and he couldn't really get enough work in that area. He's now a long distance truck driver, and those jobs are very coveted. There's many of them, and they pay well, except you're away from your family a lot. So every summer he would take his children into May, early June to Kabul to be with his parents. And people have said, well, why did he do that? There was a war going on. Well, at the time, it was okay for him to do that. And last year in early June, he took his 3 children. One is now almost 15, 12, and his son is, I think, 8 or 9. He took them to be with grandma, and he had his return flights all arranged, and he was going to go pick them up. I think it was the 19th or something of August. Well, of course, Afghanistan fell to the Taliban in the 14th or 15th. He couldn't get in the country. And because of his work with the US government, he's marked. He really can't go. He tried everything, relatives, friends, cousins, if they could take the children at least to Qatar or to Germany or someplace, get them out of the country, and he was not successful. And his children and his wife are still there. He hasn't seen his kids in a year. And we talk frequently, and as of 2 weeks ago, he hadn't been able to get the kids out. Now that's interesting because the kids have green cards, and they're it's called legal permanent resident of the U.S. And when the U.S. government decided who was going to get out and who wasn't, I think somebody told me a State Department person that the green card holders weren't considered. They just forgot about them. And it's not just these kids, there's other people too. So, you know, it's been tough. It's been tough. The kids call me about every 3 weeks or so. And the father has somebody over there teaching them English, and they're doing much better. I can tell when I talk to them that they're really improving their English. And so it's always difficult, but we're here. Unfortunately, Newcomers Access Center cannot help anybody who is not in the US. And I do get calls probably at least once a week from somebody who has a friend or relative who are in another country, and they want to know what we can do. And sadly, we can't. It's just not it's not because it's not in our mission statement. It's not in our power to do so. So anybody else have any other questions? I appreciate your time and want to respect that.
Jacob's not in there.
Did you know, I can talk forever about legal status, although I'm not an attorney. Doug, did you have a question? I can't see everybody, so I don't know who's in the audience, so I don't know.
Close your slide screen. Did you hear me?
Close those? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't close it.
I did?
No.
There, is that better? Yeah, that's better. Oh, no, you have a close-up of me. How terrible. It's not about me, you know, it's about the families. As a matter of fact, I'm going over to the center in a few minutes. I want to talk to one of the families that they work every day except Sunday. So I have to go over and talk to them. But didn't know if anybody had an interest area. Oh, Karen, hi, Karen, about what they want to do in terms of volunteering, because we just have, it seems that it sometimes appears that we're disorganized, but we're really not disorganized. And we have a wonderful board, and I can attest to it because I was away for almost a month and they handled everything pretty well. So I'm working myself out of a job. The one thing that people can do too to help, if you can't do hands-on, is just chat with people. It really helps. We wish we could have a private tutor for every person that needs the English lessons, but that's one of the reasons we have all the books, is if you wanted to come and just read and read too. And this has happened pretty well. We have a volunteer who took on a teenager, and she says she's a senior, but the high school said she's in 10th grade. And they're all worried about her having enough credits to graduate, but I think that's the least of her worries. And so a volunteer just took on meeting with her 3 or 4 times a week and just reading, listening to her read and read to her. And it's really helped her a lot. It's a wonderful way of getting to know people. The other thing, that we have a relationship with the Axe thrift store. And if you donate things there and say that you want to credit Newcomers Access Center, that whatever's donated there turns into vouchers, which we give money vouchers to our families to go there and go shopping. And it's a pretty nice place, actually. I've been to a lot of thrift stores and they keep it pretty well. Pretty well. So they like to go over there and shop for things. They're excited. They get a pair of shoes for $2 and, you know, a bike for $4, and that kind of thing. So, and the women love it for the dishes and the clothes and that sort of thing. So it helps out and it gives them a sense of independence. And the other thing we help them with is opening bank accounts, because we happen to use the US Bank because it's walking distance from our office. All the rules for the banks are about the same, but it really helps the families in terms of having a place to put their money. And in Afghanistan in particular, in other countries, it's always a cash economy. They don't trust banks. They don't put money in banks. So at first, some of them were a little reticent to turn their paycheck over to the bank. And then I say, okay, when you go to look for another apartment, you have to prove that you have this money. And now you have a bank statement. It's going to say, yeah, I do. I have this much money coming every month or whatever it is. So it's just little things like that, but those types of things just take a long time to teach the client. Anyway, anybody else haven't? If you don't have any questions, it means I did an excellent job or I did a terrible job.
You've done a wonderful job with these families. I mean, it's just above and beyond a volunteer that what you've done and created for the newcomers. It's really remarkable.
And of course, we never expected Ukrainian families to be in, and I get calls all the time. And of course, the big thing is housing, you know. And we have a volunteer whom I personally haven't met yet, but my staff has. He lives in Rancho. He says he has a big house, he's got room, and he has a Ukrainian family of 3 and a family from El Salvador, a grandmother and a granddaughter, all living in his house. And
oh my gosh.
he just wanted to offer what he had. And of course, all of our volunteers have to have a background check. We do that on everybody, but Gary's doing a great job. I can't go to his house because he has cats and I'm very allergic, but I told him he can come anytime. And he's arranging for these people to come to the center every day and have English class. I mean, it's just amazing. And he works full time at home.
Wow.
I hope he's carved out enough space for himself, but anyway. So if people have a place for someone to live in their house with you, we usually don't go that direction because our experiences, it hasn't worked out real well. But, you know, sometimes, like in this case, it does. And he said he's doing it temporarily, but neither of us have defined temporarily. So we'll see what happens. And the Ukrainians, because of their status, are technically not refugees. So they don't get the benefits that some refugees get. And as I mentioned earlier, their paperwork does not give them work permits right now. Hopefully, Joe Biden will change that. And just so you know, the Afghans that came since last August, they have permission to be in the United States, most of them for 2 years, and then they have to go back. Well, Joe Biden extended it another 18 months, and then they have to go back. So let's hope, keep writing your Congress people that this kind of thing just doesn't go, because they're building careers and relationships and hopefully some permanent housing.
What is the status of Ukrainians when they come here?
They are immigrants, and some of them come on a tourist visa. And a tourist visa, I think, is good for 6 months, 3 or 6 months, I'm not sure. And you cannot work. Just like Judy knows, the asylum seekers cannot work. They're not allowed to. And I mean, I don't know who thought this up, but anyway, they can go to school, they can be on Medi-Cal, and they can get, I don't know if they're getting Social Security numbers or not. I'm not sure about that piece. But there's a couple Ukrainian help groups around the community in LA and Orange counties that are trying to help them do it. But it's because it's a cash situation, you know, finding jobs that are on a cash job is the only way they can do it. And
why would they get Social Security numbers if they can't work?
Just as an ID. I don't know if they can, Debbie. I'm not so sure about that.
Okay.
And some of the Afghans who worked with the government can come indefinitely, and they are eligible for green cards. But the other Afghans who came on their own, no, they're not eligible for green cards, and then they never be eligible for citizenship. So what they have to do individually is they have to apply for asylum. And Judy, maybe you can address that process if you know about it, since your people are, I don't know if she's still on the call. Because when you apply for asylum, you're not allowed to hold a job. You know, there's a gentleman that was, when he was applying for asylum, last I heard he was living in a tent down near LAX because he just couldn't find work. And he has some very special skill. And some of the Ukrainians are working in the IT business, with small companies or individual companies. And we don't turn anyone away if they have documents or they don't have documents. That's not something we require. We have a family that has been with us for a couple of years, and I've never seen or heard of any documents from this family. But the kids can still go to school. And so I'm just not an authority in that area. Anybody else? I guess I'm used up all your time.
It was great.
So you know how to find us, newcomersaccesscenter.org, or just show up. We don't have the office open all day, every day, unless we have more volunteers who want to help make that happen. It's just too much. And we don't get much done, in the background, because there's so much activity going on at the center. And we know the clients are welcome there. So we love to have them come in.
I appreciate very much your information, your energy, your enthusiasm for this work. It's not easy work, I know, because I've been an ESL teacher, but it's really, really necessary. And I really appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you. I had no idea I'd be doing this. I was planning to have a lovely retirement here in Claremont, which I do. And I don't know, it just kind of happened. The people showed up and needed help. So I got blessed. I sold my business in 2018 and this is my full-time job. And Debbie can attest to that. Yeah. So,
Okay.
well, thank you very much. If you know how to reach us, or as a group or as individuals, if you want to talk to me about taking on some of these little tasks or participating, we would be most grateful, most grateful.
Okay. Thank you. You can just close yours.
Sorry?
You can just leave the meeting.
Oh, okay. So, oh, Thomas is back. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Very informative.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And you know how to find us. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Our families are grateful to you. Okay. Bye-bye.
Good.